There it was. There I was thinking it was just me that had a problem, but it turns out it's the air conditioning that's sexist.
Hello, people of Earth. How are you doing today? You might notice I'm laughing hysterically. You know why? Because we're going to be looking at...
Oh, I got hair in my mouth.
We're looking at a video titled Why Office Air Conditioning is Sexist.
Yes.
Yes, an inanimate object. Air conditioning. Air conditioning. I just... Okay, I need to start the video. But I watched this video, and every time I think of that, office air conditioning is sexist, that phrase just... We're going to react to it together, because I want to have you join me through the struggle of being a woman in the office with air conditioning, because it's so oppressive. And I can't even do the bit. I can't even do the sarcastic bit.
Okay.
I need to stop. We need to start. Okay.
Let's begin.
There I was thinking it was just me that had a problem, but it turns out it's the air conditioning that's sexist.
I know. So many women in our office have the exact same problem. You know, we just sit there absolutely freezing at our desks trying to type. You can probably tell I've got a cold right now, which I blame all on the AC. And so it's just so actually quite nice to see this research. It's just such a relief to know that there's actually proof that this is happening, that women, you know, do feel the cold more than men, and that the AC in offices is normally regulated more for a male's temperature than a woman's.
Okay. What? What? Okay, so the first time I saw this video, it's kind of confusing at the start. What she's basically saying is that air conditioners, I guess, are more in tune with dudes. Somehow they're controlled to where a guy... See, now I'm confused explaining it. She's calling it sexist because I guess men are able, like, they like it colder for some reason, or they have a harder time getting colder. Something science-y like that, which makes sense because they burn more calories, which probably means they have more heat in their body, meaning that it would take more cold to make them feel the same amount of cold as a woman, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's what's going on here. I'm not a scientist. All I know is that this is extremely confusing to me because she's saying, like, I have a cold, and she's blaming the air conditioning on that, which is fine. That's totally possible. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I'm not her doctor. And then we have this whole thing about how she's going into work and all of her friends, like her girlfriends, are going to work. Her co-workers, her female co-workers are coming in with her to work, and they're freezing, and they're blaming the air conditioner because the air conditioning is sexist. But what I don't understand is there's a remote controller for air conditioning. Air conditioning isn't like an autopilot thing that you just install and it just will
freeze you to death
if you keep it turned on too long. That's not what an air conditioner is. Like, there's a remote. So I don't understand why she's acting as if, like, her and her friends are just, like, or coworkers,
I don't know if she's friends with her coworkers,
are just kind of suffering in the cold. Like, did you say anything to your boss? Like,
I'm freezing?
and for what it's worth, like, if you're cold at your job, like, you can just put on a coat, you know? I don't think it's sexist to just advocate for yourself. But we're gonna keep going.
And it's an explanation for these constant battles you'll see in offices right across the country between the sexes for control of that office thermostat.
Constant battles. over air conditioners. I know that this clip is it's pretty old. It's not recent. However, it's not so old. It's like a couple years old. It's not so old that it could be completely irrelevant. Constant battles. I was alive when this video came out. Constant battles? I don't think offices are having like this huge meltdown, this battle royale, this Yu-Gi-Oh level fight.
Attack now! Annihilate his dark magician first!
In the lobby over it being too cold or too hot or a fight over the air conditioning remote. I don't think that's what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, one of the biggest problems is that often in offices, it is men who control temperatures. You know, that's just something I've found anecdotally. And because majority of the men in offices seem to be absolutely fine with the temperatures, you know, women kind of just sit there on the corner feeling absolutely frozen.
So she's saying that from other people's experiences, like she's talked to other people, and they've said, you know, a dude controls the thermostat. Or the air conditioning or something. Then advocate for yourself. If you're cold, and you go up to your boss and you're like, hey man, or whoever's in control, like, I'm freezing my butt off and I'm trying to work. Can you, like, turn it up a little bit or turn it down depending on, what temperature we're talking about? Like, I get that this is London, so this is the UK, not America, but I'm pretty sure we're both at the same level in terms of, like, the feminist movement or equal rights movement or the women's movement. I think we're in the same progress area. I don't know because I don't live there, but I feel like we're both on the same page in terms of where we stand with women and men being equal in the law, right? I think we're both on pretty similar terms. I don't think we're so different that we're having battles at our work over the thermostat because men are like, women have to freeze because they're less than. I don't think that's what's going on here. I think what's going on is that there's some kind of thing, there's some kind of tinfoil hat thing going on here because men, I do think that they can withstand, like, lower temperatures, typically more than women. However, if you're freezing your butt off at work, just tell them. Just tell them, like, can you just, like, not have it be so cold? I don't understand what's so hard about that. And if they don't do anything about it, then they're just an asshole. They're not sexist, they're just being an asshole. Because, believe it or not, women are not, they're not oppressed by air conditioners and people who control the air conditioning. Like, this is not a thing. It says that the, like, little tagline says, researchers say 22 centimeter standard temperature is designed for warmer body temperatures of men. Okay. I don't know I don't know what that is about. That's just weird. But again, air conditioners aren't like, you can turn it off, you can usually lower the thermostat, you can decide the temperature. If that's the default setting, that's just the default setting. I don't know what they're talking about here. It's really weird. It's really weird. Tinfoil hat. I think these people have tinfoil hats on. I don't understand.
And, you know, often, like, actually nothing's being done to help them.
Nothing is being done to help them. Advocate for yourself. Advocate for yourself. That's all you have to do is be like, hey man, I'm freezing. Adjust the thermostat. Turn off the AC for a second. I mean, if you're sitting there and let's say I'm a woman in STEM, okay? Or I'm a woman at the office, okay? The office. I don't know why I said it that way. And I got my coffee mug, and I'm just sitting there like, I'm really freezing, and I just go there every day. Everyone else is a dude. Somehow, I'm the only woman working there, which is a possibility because there's not a lot of whatever field I'm in. We're gonna say there's not as many women in there as men. I'm in there. I'm the only woman there, and all these dudes they're chilling. No pun intended. They're chilling with the cooler temperature. I'm not. I'm freezing. And I go to work every day, and I don't say anything about it. Well, then they're not gonna know. They're not going to know if I'm freezing or not. They're not going to know. They're just gonna assume that everything's fine unless I advocate for myself. So you have to ask for help. I don't know what to say.
And, you know, it might sound like a bit of a silly, light-hearted issue, but actually it's really uncomfortable being freezing at your desk every day. Take it from me.
No, I know I experience the same, because what I've often found is you go in on a really hot summer's day, you're wearing summer clothes, you go into an office and it's absolutely freezing. I think even for some men it must be too cold. I don't understand why air conditioning is often so cold. So what you have to do is then take a jumper in with you and put that jumper on in order to be able to function.
If it's super hot in the summer, I don't know what central London temperatures are, okay? But it sounds like from how she described it, it's super hot in the summer, you know? I would imagine since it's summer, but anyway, I don't have a lot of brain cells right now. I woke up at 4 a.m. and 1 a.m., but we're not talking about that. So she's saying that she has to put on a jumper. I assume that's a jacket. Again, I'm not British. I'll put a Google description right here later if I remember. And she's like, I gotta put on a jacket because it's so cold, you know. Well, if it's super hot out, you know, people crank the AC. That's just human nature. That's not a dude thing or anything. That's just human nature. I crank the AC in my house. It's summer right now. I crank the AC, 67 degrees, man. And I sometimes have to put on a blanket because it's so cold. But I know if I turn off the AC, or have to get up because I don't really want to get up. If I turn on the AC, turn it off, sorry. If I turn off the AC, it's going to get hot again. So I have to deal with the cold and put on a blanket, you know, or put on a long sleeve for however long I have the AC on so I don't have to withstand the heat. And this sounds like such a first world problem, but the thing is that to me this isn't a problem. I mean, I'm chilling with my AC. It's just sometimes it gets really cold because that's the purpose of an AC, is to make the room colder. And I've gone into plenty of businesses, especially the movie theater. The movie theater, obviously I haven't been there in a while. I haven't been there since last year or something. They crank the AC up in there. And that's just because if you're a business, you rather have people have to put on a coat than be sweating in their seat. You know what I mean? So I think this is just a human nature thing, to rather want it to be colder than have people sweating, you know?
Yeah, honestly, I think so many women listening now are going to just be nodding their heads thinking, yes, that is exactly my reality. You know, we joke at work that we actually can't dress fashionably anymore for summer because you actually just can't go in sandals. You can't go in a summer dress because you're going to have to put on the jumper or the emergency cardigan.
The emergency cardigan. Ooh, I can't wear sandals to work. This just sounds so, but the level of this is a whole segment on a news show just complaining about air conditioning. Why did you find something to complain about? I don't understand. Did you have a week off of summer and get bored? I don't understand. Okay, both of the ladies here seem super nice, okay? However, I just don't see the issue here because it sounds like you're overreacting over someone, over people cranking the AC. That's all. And then when you're complaining about it when you haven't advocated for yourself to change it so far in this new segment. She's going to touch on it a little bit more later. It's just like so far she hasn't even said that she's even talked to someone. So bullshit.
So yeah, it is quite frustrating, especially when you then go out on your lunch break or your commute home and you're absolutely boiling outside. And I think there is a bit of a problem when it's warmer outside than it is inside your office.
So what's the solution then? Because we can't have men overheating in the offices, can we?
No, I think we just need a bit more flexibility. You know, I think it is just essentially common sense. So if, you know, an office is noticing that a number of women are complaining about the cold, they need to be more flexible. You know, they need to actually kind of lower it and not just say, but, oh, the men are fine. You know, now there is actually proof that this is actually an issue. I think they need to kind of take women's...
Okay, this point doesn't make any sense. So she's complaining that it's too hot outside, that's boiling outside, but it's too cold inside, and somehow it's bad that it's warmer outside. If it's a cold summer day, and you're working for, let's say, 8 hours, working your 9 to 5, whatever, you want it to be colder inside than outside, because it's super hot outside. So she just contradicted herself? This whole argument doesn't make any sense to me. What? Like, and she talks about the commute home. When you go in your car, I know not all cars have AC, but most of them do. If you're in your car and, like, you're on your commute and you're like, it's boiling in my car, well, like, turn on the AC. At least in your car, you have control over it. She's acting as if all air conditioners are, like, set to this one temperature and you can't change it. That's not how air conditioners work. I have a remote for my air conditioner right there. I'm staring at it. Like, I'm pretty sure if my overpriced studio apartment has a controller for the air conditioning, I'm pretty sure yours does too. That your car does. I'm sure that your office has a remote. At least you can control the thermostat if it doesn't for some reason. I'm so confused.
Solution then, because we can't have men overheating in the offices, can we?
We can't have men overheating in the offices, can we? What is that? The tone of that? I don't know.
They need to be more flexible. You know, they need to actually kind of lower it and not just say, but, oh, the men are fine. You know, now there is actually proof that this is actually an issue. I think they need to kind of take women's considerations into account. And you know what? Maybe there can be more flexibility with men not having to wear suits in some offices, and they can come in t-shirts or whatever they need to be the right temperature.
We've reached the end of the segment, and I just have to say, she just said common sense is the solution. Yeah. Advocating for yourself is the solution. I don't know what asshole told her that, oh, the men are fine, so, like, I'm not gonna even take your word into account, because honestly, that person is sexist, but I don't think air conditioners as a whole are sexist. Again, I'm in America. I don't know how UK air conditioning works. When was this published? 2015, 5 years ago. I don't think it was sexist then. I don't think it's sexist now. It's just that, you know, she literally just said common sense is the answer. Advocating for yourself is the answer. If women are complaining, hey man, stop cranking the AC, stop cranking the AC. It's not that hard. And if they make you freeze in your office, then, I don't know, like, complain to their superior, complain to your boss's boss. Like, no one should make you freeze at your workplace. That's just not cool. that's the train. But this whole like 3-minute, 2.5-minute segment was so weird to me because she literally, I don't even know if this is a real issue or not. Like, I just have a hard time with this whole thing. Let me know how you feel in the comments. Is air conditioning sexist? I don't think so, because they literally didn't say why it's sexist in this video, even though that's the title of the video. So it's like, well, why? It sounds like you just have a sexist boss, or you have, or someone just cranked it because they don't want their customers or their workers to be sweating. They rather have them like have to put on a jacket for air conditioning than sweat. I think that's what's going on. I don't know. I'm just saying, if your boss wants you to freeze, either they're an asshole or yeah, like, because you're a woman. I just don't think that's the case here. So anyway, if you liked this video, please subscribe. Help me pay rent. I'll see you guys later. Bye. I did my outro wrong. Bye.